Hello, my name is Brandy Hofer, your host and founder of Color Me Happy, a community podcast and book, all of which I started in my in-home studio whilst in the throes of motherhood. I am an artist, author, educator, and mother to 3 beautiful boys. We live and create together in our in-home studio that is tucked away in the quiet Canadian prairies. Our podcast and community was built to empower and inspire. We chat about everything from motherhood, the art world, business, and health in the most honest and authentic way. It's totally unedited and unfiltered. If you love what we do here, become a part of our free community, Color Me Happy. We have grown the community to support our members with features and interviews. Our link is in the notes. Thank you for being here. I sure do appreciate your time. Hello, welcome to Color Me Happy. My name is Brandy Hofer, your host. Thank you so much for being here. Oh gosh, I hope you're not like totally just overwhelmed. Well, I know I am. I feel like I'm freaking drowning in back to school sorrows. And I talked about it with another mom yesterday. It's like we all kind of snap out of summer and have to go back to work, but our kids are still at home. And if you're a stay-at-home parent, and or not even, summer's over and your kids aren't back at school, and then your life kind of like just doubles all of a sudden, and it's almost not maintainable. So I feel grateful for this hour today that I've had to myself to check off like 2 tasks of 20. Anyway, that's another topic for another day for sure. When it comes to life in general, and it's the topic that we'll be talking about when we have our guest who's on today, Jill, talking about unpaid labor in the house and how that's 60% like, we had some stats and data. I love the Melinda Gates book. And she has actual data on the statistics of unpaid labor in the house. And it's like insanely uneven. If you can get where I'm going, it's uneven for men and women. So anyway, but this topic in particular, and I want to talk about because I forget that it can be really overwhelming for people. And I have kind of gotten into a system and a routine. I feel like that's probably the best tip I can give you on social media. And building your newsletter, which I will get into. Social media in general, you have to have a routine because consistency is key. Consistency is key to anything in life, growing anything over time, right? So your health, walking 15 minutes a day when you didn't before is going to change so much. For me, cutting out gluten, like the routine of like, getting into the new routine of that was very hard. Not eating bread when I made homemade sourdough every day, or not every day, every week, and not being able to have an egg sandwich with sourdough and Havarti was like the hugest shame, and still my mouth is watering thinking about it. Anyway, routine of social media. So whatever that looks like to you. I don't want to put any more pressure on you, obviously, especially at this time of year, because life feels unmanageable in this transition out of summer and into fall and a new routine. But I mean, new routines only take a week or 2, okay? So if you can do 1 post a week, great. So make that the best post ever. I would do 3. I feel like 3 is like a really good sweet spot, because then you can do a carousel, then you can do a reel, and then you can do like a Facebook images post. So I love 3 a week for sure. And then thinking about, and always in the back of your mind, 2 things. One is, where are you driving your traffic? Newsletter, if you haven't started building one, and Jenna Kutcher, check her out if you don't know her already. I'm sure many of you do know Jenna Kutcher, but she has like a mini free course on building your newsletter. I guess I should have one if I'm talking about social media, but I don't, okay? But it is my one big tip on where are you driving your traffic. That is such a big thing because a newsletter is always yours. Social media is ever changing. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I remember the day that Instagram died, and we talk about it in this episode. And so your newsletter is going to get you the most engagement, the most connection, because people are giving you emails. They trust you, right? They trust you so much so that they've given you their personal email in their inbox. Our email, or I'll talk about the second thing, be engaging. Okay, be engaging. That is why social media is there. They want people to use their site or their app, right? They are literally, time is a most precious commodity to social media, websites, all of it. They want people engaged and they want to hold people there. So what can you offer people? What is your strength? How can you be authentic? How can you be yourself? And what are you offering others? Is something to think about with your social media plan, because you have to show up as yourself or it just won't be fun at all, really. And I guess a third one I want to throw in there is your why. Like, why are you doing this? And what is this for? So what is this post for? Why are you creating this? So I like to always think about, why am I creating it? Ultimately to, I love the people who engage with, so making friends. But why are you making it in terms of, are you selling your artwork? Are you selling classes? Are you wanting people to buy your book? Why are you making this post? Are you trying to get a viral reel? What is this viral reel or post for, right? So it's not just to get followers, because that's just a vague thing. It's like, so for example, we've developed like freebies. One is our favorite mediums for portraits, right? So here is our little workbook for our portrait class, and ultimately it leads to selling to our portrait class, right? So here are our favorite things. So in exchange, I'm getting the person's email, I'm building their trust, I'm giving them something to take away from this experience. And then with my weekly newsletter, I continue to engage with them. That's a sequence, by the way. The freebie leads to a sequence, so email sequence. We like Flowdesk. I use Flowdesk for building up sequences, and for our weekly newsletter, it looks really good. And I think they have like an affiliate link, which I don't know. Sorry. If you know someone, I think I got it for like a deal. So if you know someone with the affiliate link, you can get it for like half off or something. But sorry, I know this is a lot of overwhelming information all at once. But those are kind of our things. So like, why are you doing it? What is it for? Where are you driving your traffic? And always thinking about building your list. And I love our weekly inspiration newsletter. It's highly opened. It's 50% opens, which is like, I think, quick math, not my strong suit. So I'll just tell you, and maybe maybe you're better at quick math than I am. So the average open for emails, newsletters is 5%, and ours is 50%. So is that like 100%, 10%? I don't know, 1,000? 1 million. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's pretty good. I know it's pretty good because all the women I work with or that I meet with or have discovery calls with, they're flabbergasted who run businesses at that percentage. So I know that my sweet little newsletter which by the way, just gonna shameless plug, you can sign up for our weekly inspiration newsletter in our notes in the or on social media at Brandy Hofer Studios, or in the notes of this podcast. Really easy. Because we share, like, today we'll be sharing all our, if you could follow to my like ADHD explanation of what I'm trying to say in this podcast, or I'm really good at focusing and breaking things down with words. That is my strong suit. And that's why our newsletter is open so often, is that I can break down, because when I'm talking to you, my brain is literally thinking of something else at this moment. It's thinking about the mural bundle that I said that I would build with my sequence builder and social media person. So anyway, I have broken these tips down for you in the notes, as well as our weekly inspiration newsletter. And this is kind of all the things you have to think about. I don't want to overwhelm you. I've made this to make it simpler and better. But here are our favorite things about social media. And I feel like if you think about this in a more positive way, instead of letting it exhaust you or be like, oh, the algorithm is against me, this will be the key to your success, because you'll think about it in the positive way. And if you think about and do things in a positive way, and if you see the light, and if you see, this is a lesson in life, if you trick your brain, train your brain into seeing the positives happen more. The wind has your back. The universe is your playground. It's like, this is our one and only life, and things are here for you. You just have to look at it that way. Social media is literally here for you, connecting to you, to the people. AI is there for finding your friends. This is originally why it was developed. This is why people love it. We crave human connection. Our brain is hardwired for connection. And that's what this is here for. And it allows you to thrive in your passion and your business, right? So our number one favorite thing about social media is it connects you to your besties. And I have so many best friends on social media and in Facebook groups and in our community, our Color Me Happy community, that I have met, who I've met in New York and around the world, that speak to my soul, right? You're here, we're friends, and there is something about this connection that speaks to your soul, ultimately. So I've had opportunities, almost every opportunity leads back to social media for me. Like, I'm not even kidding, every opportunity. So that's another favorite thing. It allows me to collaborate with people from around the world. So not only connecting to these people, but thriving together. Collaborating with people around the world and in your own community, which really important to always stay connected to your own community. They're the ones who love and support you and want to see you succeed. And the cool thing about social media is you're not limited by geography, and you can make friends from all around the world and get to travel and eat good food. So I love that. I have some tips for you, which I have here in the notes. So if you're better like me, actually I'm really bad at reading lists, but I'm good at writing them. I'm just being myself now, and I don't admit these things normally, but I have a hard time reading listies, but I'm good at making them, and I love them, and I hope you love the lists. We share them in our newsletter and our Color Me Happy community, which we feature our members in every week. So here are my tips for rocking social media, which I kind of talked to and elaborated on already, but those are my favorite things. So tip number one is be authentic, be yourself. So think about your values, write them out, visualize them, and visualize finding others who connect to those values. That's a really important thing, because those, again, will be your soul sisters. Those people will connect to you. They'll stick around, they'll support you, and you will support them. It's an energy exchange. Know your worth. Know your worth. Know that you are giving value. You are giving your time when you post on social media. You're giving parts of yourself. And keep faith that will attract your dream client, your dream customers, your dream collectors, and you will grow in the season that is meant and right for you. Show your humanness, make mistakes, and that is how your viewer relates and engages to you, don't be perfect. Look at me right now. I'm literally in my mom's like 40-year-old sweater, no makeup, because I actually fucking hate makeup. And this is me. So I've just stopped trying so hard. And that's that. And honestly, like people unfollow and people unsubscribe all the time. I don't typically look at that because it hurts my heart. But like we talked about passion and connecting to our passion last week. We had a lot of unsubscribers. And that's okay, because I feel like it's very important for me to talk to other women about supporting them, connecting to themselves. And so what? So what? Like, no skin off my back. I supported another woman in my community and connected her with people and clients, and it's a ripple effect. Oh, what's that cool quote? I meant to look it up. I can do that because I have a computer right in front of me, and it's the 21st century. Mother Teresa quote about ripples on water. Let's see. Here we go. Found it. Oh, golden. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples. Me connecting with Darcy and what she's passionate about talking about. And by the way, if you missed that episode, it's amazing and hilarious. And we laughed the whole time. Totally giddy episode. I loved it. But I can show up and I can do something or say something, and you can show up and do something or say something, or meet with another person, or tell someone something you know, share knowledge, share power, and you can cause the stone on the water to create many ripples. You are the stone, which is so cool. That's the power of social media. It's like enhanced by 1 trillion. Now, your stone is enhanced. I'm going to share this quote in the notes because it's amazing. I forget where I heard it, but I'm going to share it in the podcast notes so you can share it and be amazing and keep this going, I feel like. And who doesn't love a good quote? My book's full of them. And then I quote them again all the time. So there you go. Mother Teresa, still to this day, creating ripples across the world. So know your worth. That was a long ass know your worth elaboration, I guess. Show your humanness and your mistakes. That's how your viewer relates and engages to you. So again, be yourself. Not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay. You'll find your people. If you're posting videos, and I struggle with this, and I see people literally online struggling with this all the time because it's hard to not look at your own face and look yourself in the eye, because our brains are literally trained to look people in the eye to get that like dopamine hit. So here is a huge one. Look at the camera. And it's taken me like a year to get really good at it. Look exactly in the camera, because your viewer gets the dopamine hit and they'll stick around longer. Yeah, huge one right there. So don't look at the screen. See me looking at the screen right now if you can see this on YouTube, but if you're listening, you won't know. And then think of how more engaged you are when I use my hands and when I look at you in the camera. It's a magic trick. It's a magic trick, and I love it so much. And it's like you're having coffee and tea with a friend, face to face. Consistency is key. We talked about that. Whether you're posting a newsletter, set a goal like 3 posts a week or 2 emails a month, and then stick to it. And get inspired by other people. Steal their ideas. And I'm serious. Steal ideas. Like if you like something someone else did, be like, I think I can do that. And you'll do it in your own way. Right? Don't steal their literal content. Just do it in your own way. Be inspired by it, right? No one will know because there's so much content out there. And try it out. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Viral isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Slow growth will allow you to learn and thrive in a pace that you are capable of maintaining. And we talked about this in the episode, so you'll love that. If you're posting a photo, use a carousel filled with videos and photos because it keeps your viewer going. And not only that, it shows your viewer not the first post, but the second one. So less work for you. Carousel, if you don't know what that is, you just like go in there and you have, or multiple photos on Facebook. By the way, Facebook still really works for conversion. So conversion is when you sell something or have a sale. Facebook still works really well, like a personal Facebook post. Just keep that in mind. But the carousels are just posting more than one photo, so you hit the like multi-square button. Remember that social media, again, is there for you, not against you. It is like hooking you up. Not only that, it's hooking you up for free. And when I'm talking about for free, don't pay for ads. I took a course with Dina Brodsky on social media, and she says once you start paying, they expect you to pay over and over and over again. And you can't do this. Only big companies can maintain that budget. Like big companies like Walmart. That's how big I'm talking. So stick to personal profiles. And we talk about this a lot with Jill in this very short but very great episode. So thanks for being here. Remember to keep positive. This is your tool for connection, and don't let it overwhelm you. It should be fun. And even I love doing it because, again, it ultimately connects me to more besties, more friends, more loving life, human connection. That's what it's for. It's your way to humanly connect through devices, which is pretty darn cool if you ask me. Okay, stay sane, stay cool, stay sane. I'm here for you. Let me know if you want to chat anytime. I'm here. I'm really good at messaging on Instagram, and that's at Brandy Hofer Studios. So we'll catch you on the flip side. Sold, and it was Chelsea from the Gus collection. And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, is that the one I gave Jill? And it wasn't. No, I was like, I searched my drawers. I was like, fuck, I gave it to Jill and I didn't mark it as sold. And then I was like, I'm gonna have to convince Jill and like get her to pick out a new piece. And
I would give it back.
I know, but then I went for the third. I was like, I'll just check the drawer one more time. And then I like literally was like, fuck yes, and I found it.
Oh, that's good.
Because I knew I gave you a Chelsea, but I think I gave you my more favorite Chelsea. So when it said Chelsea, I was like hoping it was the giant Chelsea, but
that's okay.
It will eventually. Anyway, I love your new art collection that you did in like a gallery wall, and the donuts. Who did the donuts?
Her handle is Cat Loves Cake, and she's amazing. And actually, like, I've never met her. She is a Canadian artist living in Seattle, and like, yeah, I've never personally met her, but we've kind of corresponded on Instagram, which is my favorite thing about that tool, is that you can talk to people. You can meet people from all over the world. I can talk to this artist who I admire and have like a real conversation and build a semi-relationship there. And again, like, we've never met, so we're not really friends, but we're very friendly. And I'm sure that if we ever did meet, it would be an instant, jump to the third date type feeling versus that awkward, hello, I followed you online forever and I really appreciate your work. So
I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah, in a very safe, non-creepy way.
I know. I mean, that's what is so cool about social media. I remember the day Instagram died. In fact, I wrote about it in my book. Like, it was a good day, but it was also like a panic day, because I was like, how am I going to connect with all these amazing creative friends that I have on this platform? And not only that, but if you think of it from an artist perspective, like, how am I going to connect? Well, that is my perspective, but how am I going to connect with my collectors in that same way? Because people crave that connection. And in fact, Dina, who has helped me understand social media a bit more, and I'll give her a little piece of her what she has geekily figured out about the algorithm later on. But she says to even have like a personal profile. She's like, because no matter what, the people who want to buy your artwork want to talk to you first. So and they don't want to just click on like your product. So when you have a business profile, you can access products, right? And have a product available on your site. If you're an artist with like unique items, not like you're just selling shirts, like that's not such a connection that people need. But she's like, they're always gonna, so just message me if you want to know more, or like inquire about this artwork or learn how I did it. And then they're more invested. And like you did with Kat, was Cat Loves Cake. Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Cat
Cat
loves
Loves
cake.
Cake. See how much you knew about her, and you would click right away, right?
Yeah.
And you know that we can feel those connections online. It's like when I went to New York, and I had never met these women, and I had been like corresponding with them for like 6 years, 3 years, some of them like 2 years. And honestly, it just felt like we had known each other the whole time. It was
Yeah.
so weird,
And well,
but
and
great.
that's the best part about social media is the social aspect that I think a lot of people forget is it's not just to push out your own crap, really. It's not like, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this, because
That's
how
the
often are you going to
bonus.
follow that? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
boring. And
Yeah.
I don't want to just buy things online. I mean, who doesn't like to online shop? But if you're doing something so specialized, so curated, so individual, like art should be, it should mean something to you. I want to know, do I actually like the artist? Do we get along? And not, maybe this is too much, but I always feel like I want to work with in my job. I want to have people on my wall for art that I would want to have a coffee with, right? That
Mm-hmm.
I
You
don't
want
need
to
to be their
support
best friend,
them.
but
You want
yeah,
to
I want to help
support who they
support
are.
and their dream, right? So I think that's so nice. And like we don't have to get along on every philosophical level, but there is that element of I want to reach out and know that this is done by a human being and not just, AI or another blanket winner's print that everybody has in their home or whatever, right? Art, I think, especially, but even when I do business with other companies in town, like I want to know who they are and I want to build that relationship and that connection.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you consult with you can put this into better sentences than I can. But you consult with businesses locally and probably and beyond about this subject in particular. And what is your advice to your clients on this subject of getting your viewer to connect, like we just spoke about?
hmm yeah, so I run a marketing agency here in Lloydminster, and like you said, we do Lloyd for sure, and then beyond. So it's not just limited geographically, which is the nice, fun thing about social media. I've actually had consultations with an individual was he in Madagascar? He was in Africa, and he was running a dog shelter, and so just like super cool to have that relationship be built. But anyway, the whole purpose, again, going back to social media, whether you're running a business or it's just your own personal page, it's just building that authenticity and that trust in people. And we all look to highlight the best version of ourselves. But I find that showing your mistakes, showing your failures, so to speak, are what makes you relatable and what connects you to people. And the best thing that you can do for social media is build a connection where you show you. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever we take on a new client, the first thing we do is what we call an engagement meeting. And it's kind of where we sit down and we talk to them about who they are, what their business is, what their goals are, what they like, what they dislike. We always use the SPCA as a great example where I'm a dog person. You'll probably also hear my dog throughout this podcast as she's laying down on the floor beside me. So I love to support them. If you are not an animal person, that is okay, but then you don't need to support that organization. Find something that clicks for you, right? And same for your clientele, same for um, your services, everything that you do should relate back to who you are and where you want to go. We're not the we're not here for everybody, and not everybody's going to like you, and you know what? That is okay. Find your people.
It's hard, but
Yeah.
in everything you do have to keep that in mind, and know that, you know, everyone's not going to resonate with who you are, and that is like kind of the worst part of social media, I guess. But back to authenticity, when I guess when I feel my most vulnerable or my most exhausted, I guess you could say, is, and when I show up online as that person, like I'm having like a rough time creatively, or, you know, the kids like coming off that school break, I was just like, shit, I feel so bad. Or when I created a post after I hadn't painted for 3 weeks and talking about that as the heartbeat of what I do, those are my most popular posts when
'Cause you
you're
connect.
vulnerable or authentic. And obviously I can't continually, like, those are in the moment posts, those are like so vulnerable, so
Mhm,
I can't make that up, so I
mhm.
can't be like, I'll do that all the time and my social media will be huge, but I can't, because it's just so raw. And obviously that's not for everyone to, you know, it's just, that's my audience. They
Yeah.
are creative women mostly. And so like they can resonate with that sort of message. Like, a lot of women are exhausted who are trying to do it all.
Mhm.
And so when I come on and say I'm exhausted too, and not showing that like curated perfect side, right?
It's so
um
important. And like you said, maybe I'm following you and I'm not an artist, but I can connect to your intent of art is your life. That's what fuels you. There might be something different that fuels me, but I know when I don't do whatever that is, right? And so at the core of it, it's not necessarily that you're even connecting about art specifically, you're connecting on a human level beyond that. And yeah, a lot of the time for social media, I know everyone wants theirs to go viral and they want to hit those big numbers, whatever that number looks like to them. For some people, it's honestly in the hundreds. Some people it's thousands. Some people it's millions. So it just depends on their perspective. But at the end of the day, as long as you're putting out content that builds connection, that shows who you are truly authentically as an individual, as a corporation, and building that connectivity is it's key. That's what
mhm,
people more or less buy into, is not I want to own a piece of Brandy Hofer's art because yes, I think that it is incredible and it's beautiful, but that's only one piece of that puzzle. I want
mhm,
to basically own a piece of the magic that is Brandy Hofer.
mhm. And social media is a tool for
Absolutely.
you to communicate that to your audience. And I get the learning curve is a bit rough sometimes when you're just starting out, especially when like TikToks and Reels came along. But if you think about it positively, in the way that like uh the Reels are just another way of you expressing who you are or what your business means. It's a tool, and it's a beautiful tool, and it's a gift to you. The algorithm is connecting you with the right people.
It's trying
So
to.
it's, yeah, it's
Mhm.
literally finding your friends. So if you think about it in that way, like it is a great tool, instead of being like the goddamn algorithm keeps changing. Um
Yeah.
and so I want to go back to the viral comment, because it reminds me of the conversation I had with Michelle, who worked for you for a really long time.
Mhm.
And she said,
this. And I actually talked about it last night to a group in New York. And they have a book club and they were reviewing my book. And so it was like a Q&A and stuff like that. But I also got to just like put in my 2 cents and advice. And I used Michelle's advice, which is hilarious. But it's good advice. She said something along the lines of, there's something really great about growing at the pace that you can maintain, right?
Yes.
Like a steady increase. And I always think about that because I'm like, I couldn't handle a viral anything right now. Like I just couldn't do it. Yes, I want popular videos, but like right now my like website's in construction and we're switching over to a whole new platform that focuses on not just selling artwork where I began, to like a podcast and online education and like so much more. And it's so different that it's a huge platform. And like if I went viral tomorrow, people would be lost on my current site, right? And not only that, when I did even grow a little bit, I completely burnt out. Completely burnt out, which, you know, that's why a lot of the great things happened. So I would never take back that burnout. And a woman was on the Jenna Kutcher podcast, and she said, and she did, she was a digital creator, kind of like struggling and barely had any clients. And she did some Black Lives Matters prints and really like hitting the subject hard and like boldly. And she went absolutely viral, and she did it for like 3 years. And then she's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't work till 9 at night. I can't do this anymore. This is not the life I chose for myself. It just happened. I'm grateful for what it was, but I can't do it anymore. So
And
I
that's
think there's a consciousness level.
absolutely. And that's where I don't want to ever discourage people from striving for their dreams and going after that success, whatever that may be to them. But sometimes it can be kind of a curse too, where you have the spotlight on you now. And sure, you're this moment's it girl or whatever. But I always find, like, if you even think about, I'm not sure if they even do this anymore, but remember growing up and it would be, you'd have the most popular celebrity and then basically everyone's just kind of waiting for them to fail. And
oh my gosh, it was terrible.
Oh, it was. And I try really hard not to look at magazines like that when I'm in the superstore or whatever. My goal is to kind of avoid all that toxic, it's usually body shaming and whatnot. But anyway,
the bikini, yeah, like look at how we caught this person in their bathing suit.
yeah,
basically
or
sums
who
it
wore
up.
it better, and it's comparing, it's putting women against each other, or sometimes men, but mostly women. And so anyway, my point is that sometimes, manage what you can manage and just one foot in front of the other. And yeah, I mean, everybody wants to be a millionaire or to be, influential, whether that's a social media influencer with mega followers and their reels go viral, or it's, really well respected within their field and well known within their field. Sure, that sounds fabulous, but everything that you do comes at a cost. And that might be something like your privacy. That might be, you need to develop thick skin. There has been so much outspeak in Hollywood against the tabloids and the paparazzi and the skewed media, which I love. There has been, Lorde, the singer, this is a couple years ago, but I remember someone was at her concert. It was a media person. They took a picture of her. They posted it on Twitter. She instantly, as soon as she got off stage, took a picture of herself and reposted on Twitter, because what it was her face was flawless. And she reposted herself unedited and said, I don't look like that. Like, stop glamorizing this flawless skin that I don't have. You've just edited my photo to sell more magazines or whatever subscriptions that they were selling at the time. And that I think is so healthy and so great, that I wish that more non-celebrities did.
Mm-hmm. I actually liked not what it was about and the body shaming, but I liked looking at the bathing suit ones because I was like, oh my gosh, they're just humans too. We're all just
Yes.
humans
Yeah.
moving about through the world, and that's what bodies look like.
Yeah. And
And
it's
I had a
okay if yours
conversation.
has curves or rolls
Yeah.
or doesn't and whatever.
Yeah. And like my partner and I talked about that this morning. He's like, they were pulling her. It was like a video. He's like, she was stuck and they were pulling her out. She's got to be like 100 and like, I don't know. And I was like, well, probably I'm like one, whatever, 50. He's like, are you? I was like, I have no idea. I haven't stepped on a scale in years because we came out of that really toxic culture as teens.
Mhm.
And then we just started talking about, it's about feeling good. And for me right now, feeling strong is really important.
Mhm.
And yeah, none of my pants definitely don't. I have to order a whole bunch of new pants because being strong means not having the body that we were told as teenagers, like Paris Hilton, like you have to be super slim and fit into 2 or 0, which I never did. Thank God. And
yet,
it was just so toxic. And now I just like want to feel energy throughout the whole day. So that means not even exercising hard, but going outside for a nice walk.
yes.
Yeah,
Adding movement into your life, however that may be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're bridging 2 worlds here very well.
I know.
This is probably not your intent.
I know. It's just stuff I love to talk about.
Yeah.
In general. And that's okay. We can make it one. We were going to split this in 2, basically like social media, but this can be a great transition into what we're talking about anyway. I think the audience will appreciate
coming along this journey with us.
I think so. That's what I leave open for, is organic transitions and a conversation, in hopes that we're all just hanging out drinking tea together or coffee.
Yeah.
I really feel like I should cover social media more often, and maybe I will, because I actually do love it a lot and I have a huge knowledge base. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer anytime, because I have actually taken tons of training in social media. In fact, it used to be my job, but before, oh gosh, like in 2011. So many things have changed, but it was my literal job for 4 years in marketing. And then I have been maintaining, obviously, Brandy Hofer Studios over, oh my gosh, it's almost 20 years. So I really do love it. I really do love how it works. And I love figuring things out about it. And ultimately, like I said, I love that it connects me to more friends and has that human connection element. And not only that, do I get to help people with their passion. So if ever you're like stuck or like need tips or have questions about this episode, please reach out at Brandy Hofer Studios on Instagram, because that's where I sit mostly, and I'm better at answering messages. I'm really good at a voice message as well. Also, thank you, Jill. So Jill is CEO and founder of Red Bicycle Communications, one of our partners in this podcast. So thank you, Jill, for giving us a little bit of your time and knowledge. And stay tuned for Jill's next episode with us coming up. I don't know when I'll do it, probably on like International Women's Day, because it's a very, very juicy podcast. And thank you to BioClean Disaster Services, who is our partner in this podcast as well, because they are saving our butts with a very, I'll be honest, mural problem that I didn't foresee. I think our mural got blasted with dirt in the dirt zone of construction while like just at the end of the curing stage. So like dirt stuck to our, not stuck, it's coming off. That is the good news, but we don't have a water source. So BioClean's helping us wash the wall. And they're just amazing and I love them so much. And we got connected through social media. Imagine that, guys. Thirdly, Oasis Hot Yoga and Spin Studio, who we are partnering with to do a workshop coming up on trusting your intuition. So I got these circle panels and I can't wait to like paint on them and prime them and prep them for the workshop, because we just finished our first workshop at the cheesery and we did like florals and it was amazing and fun. We had 35 people out there, which is crazy. So I know that our workshop that has yoga, food, and painting will also be full, because those are 3 really great things mixed all in an amazing 2 hours. Basically, if anyone has cooked me food, I will show up at this point in my life. Am I right? And Nouveau Laser and Aesthetic Center, they make me feel beautiful in my own skin. And it has made me be able to show up confidently naked faced most of the time. I'm actually having trouble right now, and it's because there was eggs in something that I ate, which sucks that I can't eat eggs. But Nouveau helped me figure out that I can't eat eggs with guiding me to a naturopath and then helping me with the scarring. So I have like a major breakout from the accidental egg fiasco, which is a continual life thing. So they're always there for me. I like the Pico laser for this type of scarring. It also helps with like age spots, but I'm concerned about acne scars, and I had a lot throughout my pregnancies, 3 of them, so there was a lot. And a peel helps too with that, those kinds of spots. So stay tuned. I'll be visiting them after summer, because you can't get those things done while you're in the sun. And I painted a 3,000 square foot mural on the street recently, and I'm doing one in Saskatoon next weekend, which, by the way, stay tuned for. In Saskatoon, my first mural fest. So fun. I'm like foaming at the mouth. I'm so excited for this mural festival. Not only that, but I get to leave my house for a weekend, which is fucking awesome, because I'm batty. Okay. We'll talk to you soon, my friend. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here as always. And feel free to reach out and chat anytime, or reach out in the Color Me Happy community. You're friends. We're friends. That's what the community is there for. We're here for you. I'm there for you. And no question is a bad question. And if you're having a rough time, go there. If you're having a great time and you want to share your excitement, go there. That's what it's for.
If you're looking for some time for yourself to relax, release, and unwind, Oasis has the perfect space for you. They offer yoga and spin classes of all levels. Whether you are a beginner or advanced student, Oasis thrives on accommodating all aspects of the practice. Let their serene environment and gracious staff help you in your journey of peace, healing, and strength. Sign up online at www.oasishotyogastudio.com or by downloading the Oasis Hot Yoga Studio app. Feel like yourself. You deserve it.